right, let's kick off this deep dive. We're all about weight loss and energy boost today, right?
Sounds right up my alley.
Well, get this. We're going deep on this fascinating YouTube video by Hana Kim.
The little-known secret of weight loss, right?
That's the one. And she's got the glucose goddess herself, Jessie Inkofe, backing her up.
Oh, yeah, she's like the glucose whisperer, basically a biochemist who's all about hacking our glucose for better health.
And hold on to your hats, folks, because Hana actually tested these hacks herself.
With a continuous glucose monitor, no less. The results are pretty amazing.
Seriously, you wouldn't believe how much glucose impacts us daily, even if you don't have diabetes.
It's wild. Those little spikes can totally trigger those afternoon slumps and crazy cravings.
Like a hidden sugar roller coaster inside us. It's amazing how a few tweaks can make such a difference.
Absolutely. But first things first, we got to break down what glucose is and why it matters.
Okay, so it's basically sugar, right? But why is everyone freaking out about keeping it stable? Can our bodies handle a little spike here and there?
Well, imagine this. You're on a roller coaster, shooting up, then plummeting down.
Oh, I get it, like a sugar rush and then a crash.
Exactly. When we eat sugary stuff or refined carbs, our blood sugar goes haywire, giving us that initial energy burst.
But
Then comes the crash fatigue, cravings, you name it.
and if this happens all the time?
It can lead to some serious health issues down the road, even if you don't have diabetes.
Okay, so avoiding those drastic ups and downs is key. Got it.
Now, this is where Hana's experiments come in.
I'm listening.
Her first hack is called eating your food in the right order.
Right order. Okay, lay it on me.
It's actually simpler than it sounds.
I hope so.
So picture this. You're having a burger, right? Veggies first, then the patty, and lastly, the bun-in.
Hold up, you're saying I gotta deconstruct my burger? That seems, well, a little messy.
Uh-huh, I know, it sounds weird, but trust me, the science behind it is solid.
All right, I'm intrigued. But wouldn't it taste strange?
I hear you. It's not exactly gourmet.
More like a science experiment on a plate.
True, but think about it this way. Fiber, which is in those veggies, acts like a sponge in our gut.
Okay, so it slows down how fast that bun turns into sugar in my blood.
Exactly. And Hana's glucose monitor readings are the proof. By eating her burger this way, she reduced her glucose spike by a whopping 73%.
Whoa, 73%. Okay, maybe I can handle a deconstructed burger for that kind of result.
And don't worry, she has tips for making it more palatable.
Like what? Because honestly, raw onions before a juicy patty doesn't sound too appetizing.
She recommends experimenting. Get creative with flavor combinations.
So maybe a delicious salad with some lean protein before diving into that burger.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works for you and your taste buds.
Okay, I can get behind that.
So it's like prepping your system for that glucose hit. Kind of brilliant, right?
Definitely. I like this strategic meal planning idea.
And hey, even if you can't always rearrange your plate,
Like those times you're out and about.
there's another hack that might just blow your mind.
Okay, hit me with it.
Get ready for this. Vinegar.
Vinegar. Seriously. Like salad dressing vinegar.
You got it. And get this. It doesn't even matter what kind, white, red wine, balsamic, apple cider. They're all glucose-lowering superheroes.
Hold on. Something that simple has that kind of power.
Oh yeah, it all comes down to this magical compound called acetic acid.
Which is basically...
The main ingredient in vinegar. Acetic acid does some pretty amazing things.
Okay, spill the beans.
Well, first off, it actually slows down the breakdown of food into glucose.
So it's like hitting the brakes on that sugar express.
Exactly, but it gets even better.
Does it help our cells use that glucose more efficiently or something?
You're catching on. Acetic acid encourages our cells to absorb glucose from the bloodstream faster, so they use it up quicker.
Wow, so it slows down the sugar release and helps our cells gobble it up faster. You weren't kidding about the superpower thing.
And here's the kicker. Studies show that vinegar can still be effective even if you consume it 20 minutes after a meal.
No way. For real. I'm officially impressed.
So picture Hana, right? She loves a good acai bowl like many of us.
Who doesn't, right?
But when she checked her glucose monitor after one,
Oh, I'm guessing it wasn't pretty.
let's just say there was a major glucose spike. So the next time she decided to try the vinegar hack.
Wait, did she pour it on her acai bowl?
Haha, not quite. She diluted a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in water and drank it before digging in.
And what happened to her glucose levels?
The results were remarkable. The vinegar significantly reduced her spike, and she even felt more energized and had fewer cravings afterward.
Okay, color me convinced. Vinegar is officially my new best friend.
I knew you'd come around!
But let's be real, sometimes you're out and about and you don't exactly have a bottle of vinegar handy.
No worries, there's a hack for that too.
Phew, I was hoping you'd say that. What's the secret weapon this time?
It's called the Green Starter, and it's all about embracing the power of fiber.
Green starter? Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more. Okay, so break down this green starter thing for me. I'm all about that fiber life.
It's surprisingly simple, really. You just add a fiber-rich dish before your main meal.
So kind of like the eating in order thing, but with even more emphasis on fiber up front?
Exactly. Think of it like building that fiber shield in your gut to slow down the glucose absorption.
I'm with you. So is this mostly salads we're talking about?
Salads work great. You can get creative too. Roasted veggies, a quick veggie soup, sauteed spinach, the options are endless.
See, now you're speaking my language. It's all about finding what you enjoy and what fits into your routine, right?
You got it. It's not about forcing yourself to eat things you don't like. It's about making smart choices that you can actually stick with.
Okay, I could definitely get on board with that. So we've got the eating in order hack, the vinegar trick, and now the green starter. What about dessert, though? Can we still enjoy a little something sweet without sending our glucose levels through the roof?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And the answer might surprise you. While limiting sugar is generally a good idea, enjoying dessert after a balanced meal can actually help minimize those glucose spikes.
Wait, seriously, I thought sugar was always the enemy. Explain this magic to me.
Picture it this way. When you've already had fiber, protein, and healthy fats in your main meal, your body is better equipped to handle the sugar that comes with dessert. It's like your metabolism is prepped and ready to go.
So it's not just about what we eat, but when we eat it. Mind blown.
Exactly. And don't forget about those other hacks we talked about, the eating in order, the vinegar. Those can help reduce cravings too, making it easier to enjoy those treats in moderation. It's all about balance.
I like the sound of that balance, not restriction or guilt, just smart choices. So did Hannah put this dessert theory to the test?
Absolutely. She compared eating ice cream on an empty stomach versus after a balanced meal.
And drumroll, please.
The results were pretty clear. The ice cream after the meal caused a much smaller glucose spike.
You know, this is why I love diving deep into this stuff. Hannah's experiments are so eye-opening. All right, so we've got our eating order, vinegar, the green starter, and strategic dessert timing down pat. What about movement, though? Does that factor into the equation?
Oh, absolutely. Movement is a game changer when it comes to glucose control. It's like the anytime, anywhere hack.
Okay, I'm listening. I'm all for moving my body, but how does that actually impact my glucose levels?
When your muscles are working, they need energy, and guess what their favorite fuel source is?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say glucose.
Bingo. So when you move after a meal, you're basically giving your muscles a direct line to that glucose in your bloodstream, helping to prevent those big spikes.
So it's like redirecting the sugar traffic away from our fat cells and towards our muscles. Genius.
It's a win-win.
So what kind of movement are we talking about here? Do I need to hit the gym after every meal?
Not necessarily. Even a 10-minute walk can get a difference. Hannah tested this out by doing 50 squats after a meal, and it definitely helps.
Okay, full disclosure, I struggle to even get up from the couch after a big meal, let alone do 50 squats. Any alternatives for us less athletic folks?
Of course, dancing, yoga, even a little stretching or a quick walk around the block, it all adds up. The key is to make it a habit and find something you enjoy.
Okay, I like that. Find something you enjoy. So to recap, we've got our 5 glucose hacking strategies. Eating in order, vinegar, the green starter, strategic dessert timing, and post-meal movement. That's a pretty solid toolbox.
It is, and here's the thing, the real magic happens when you combine them all. It's like they work together to create this ultimate glucose balancing force.
That's what I'm talking about. So did Hannah put this to the test?
You bet she did. She called it her ultimate glucose challenge.
I've been waiting for this. Tell me everything. What was the challenge?
She made a pretty hearty meal, pasta carbonara, steak, and veggies, and ate it twice. Once with no hacks, and then again using all 5 strategies.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. How did she feel after the first meal, the one with no hacks?
She reported feeling that classic post-meal, slump-tired, craving sweets, and just overall blah. Her glucose monitor backed this up, showing a big spike.
Oof. Yeah, I know that feeling all too well. So what about round 2? How did she feel after incorporating all the hacks?
Now, this is where it gets exciting. She had a totally different experience after the second meal. She had sustained energy, no crazy sugar cravings, and felt much lighter and more comfortable, even though it was the same meal.
Wow, that's a pretty dramatic difference. Sounds like those hacks really work in synergy.
Exactly. It's like each strategy builds upon the others to keep those glucose levels in check. Her glucose monitor showed a much more stable response after the meal with all 5 hacks.
I'm convinced these glucose hacks are officially part of my life. But I imagine it's not about being perfect all the time, right? Life happens.
You're absolutely right. Consistency is key, but it's also important to find what works best for you and your lifestyle. Listen to your body, experiment, and have fun with it.
I love that. It's not about deprivation or strict rules. It's about making informed choices that support our well-being. Small changes can make a big difference.
Absolutely. Even incorporating just 1 or 2 of these hacks can make a noticeable difference in how you feel.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. I'm feeling inspired to try these hacks and see how they impact my energy levels and overall health.
I'm so glad to hear that. It's always exciting to explore new ways to optimize our health and well-being.
And speaking of exploring, we have one final thought-provoking question for you to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive.
What one hack will you try this week?
And what delicious, glucose-friendly meal will you create? So what are you waiting for? Get out there and start experimenting.
It's all about taking control of your health, right? And remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Absolutely. This is just the beginning of your glucose adventure.
Exactly. As you start trying these hacks, pay attention to how your body feels, what works best for you.
What meals leave you feeling amazing? Which ones make you want to take a nap?
That's the key, tuning into your body signals.
It's not about being restrictive. It's about making choices that make you feel your best.
And remember, the science of glucose is always evolving. There's always something new to learn.
So stay curious, keep exploring, and keep those glucose levels steady.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive, ready to tackle a new topic.
Until then, keep experimenting, keep learning, and keep thriving.